shedding light on government proceedings. I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me this hour is Pennsylvania State Representative Babette Josephs. Thanks so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
We're talking about the Sunshine Act. Talk to us about the intention behind this act and who actually falls under the guidelines of the act.
Well, we all do in the state. But the state legislature and the state government really does let the public in. That's the kind of sunshine we're talking about. Let the press in. We do understand that the taxpayers and the voters and the citizens have a right to know what we're doing. And actually, we want their help. We have to know what they want. But what seems to happen a lot on the local level, with little borough councils, sometimes with school districts, is there's a tendency to make really important decisions for people's day-to-day life behind closed doors, and I'm trying to change that practice.
So let's focus a little bit on your legislation. It's House Bill 1324, and it would actually increase penalties if local boards, local governing bodies don't fall within the guidelines of the Sunshine Act.
If they don't let people know when they're having meetings where they're making policy, if they close the doors, even if people know and don't let them in, they are going to pay very heavy fines. And more than that, the individual is going to pay the fine, not the agency. The individual can't say, oh no, we'll let the school board pay that. The individual who absolutely intentionally closed the public out is going to be in trouble. This bill passed the House. I'm hoping the Senate will take it up. I'm hoping the Senate will pass it.
So every individual that would be involved with a closed-door meeting would actually be on the hook for these penalties?
Unless the individual said, I protested before and after and during protests this. I don't, because if you're not the person running the meeting, sometimes you don't get to make that decision. If the person comes out and says, I don't like this practice, here's what went on, we're not going to fine that person.
What about for school districts, for example, that have a closed-door meeting related to something like safety or security within a school building? Would that fall under this category as well?
That's a very important issue. And actually, the Press Association, the Newspaper Association, did not like this bill because they felt it exempted too much security kinds of matters.
So it does actually exempt conversations.
It does.
Okay.
For instance, if a school board is discussing where they're going to put security cameras in a school, how they're going to evacuate students if there's some sort of reason to do that in an emergency situation, they can do those plans. They can make those plans and discuss them behind closed doors. I believe that's a reasonable way to balance these two kinds of really important interests, the public right to know and the private, just being aware of security kinds of issues.
For the penalties themselves, it would increase the penalty for an intentional violation from $100 to $1,000 plus the cost of prosecution for a first offense, and up to $2,000 plus the cost of prosecution for a second or any subsequent offenses. Why is it important, do you think, to put the onus on the individual?
Well, because otherwise I think they will continue this practice because they won't be hurting. If you want people to change a practice, you've got to make it serious. That's true with any kind of societal control. We don't want people to commit a crime. We have to make sure that crime is taken seriously. We don't want people to do things in secret who shouldn't be doing it. Then we have to make it serious. I'm not wedded to any particular number, but I want to make it a serious incident.
All right, thanks so much. Come back and give us an update. Let us know how this is progressing.
I would love to.
Thank you. We've been talking with Babette Josephs. I'm Jill Horner for Comcast Newsmakers.